Okay, so two things basically for the kind of success we're probably looking for, or let me just say there are just two ways, two basic ways to do anything you want to do in life exceptionally and to be different from every other person. So, and I'm saying this in respect to how much you want your net worth to be worth, uh, how much impact you want to have on people, how much people you want to help, um, and things like that. So it's cut across every sector, every skill, every career, every kind of work you want to do, everything, anything and everything at all. So, talking about what will differentiate you from your colleagues eventually, what will differentiate people doing big things from people doing the small things, what differentiate um, people just living the day as it comes by from people who live their life intentionally. And many of those things we're already involved in systematically, knowingly, unknowingly, and in different ways. I would just bring it to our notice, not because on one side we do not know, but because I also want to bring it to our consciousness so that as we do it intentionally, right? To make money, basically, it goes in two directions. And those two directions lead you to how much of it you want to do and at what scale you want to do it. Because all of those things are the things that come together to determine how much ground you're able to cover, how much people you're able to affect positively or negatively, and how much value will be on you, how much of importance you're going to be to your environment, your community, and to your people, and how much you yourself will be able to hold on to and say, having gone through this life for so number of years, this is how much I've been able to contribute. Now, you may have listened to so many motivations, so many high performance skills, high performance life, the things you need to do regularly. But above all of those things, with all of those disciplines, everything always comes back to just two things. So to make money, I always say that it's either you sell or you produce. And the third set of people are the people who produce and sell. That is, they combine the two skills. So, what am I saying in essence is, irrespective of what it is exactly you do, if you cannot sell it, you cannot make money. If you cannot make money, there is limit to how much you can contribute to people's life. Because not everybody will have the opportunity to sit down and listen to you. Not everybody will have the opportunity to live with you. Not everybody will be close enough to see how you live your life. And not everybody will have the opportunity to come and listen to your wisdom irrespective of how much of it you think you have. But sincerely speaking, if you have money, why? Out of your territory, out of your borders, you can affect even millions of lives. But what it is today, either we like it or not, Telegram, the Telegram owner, is affecting more people than most churches are doing today. And when I say most churches, I'm not saying individually, all the churches combined together. So if you look at how many people Twitter is affecting today, I'm very sure it's affecting more people than Islam is doing. I'm saying that to say these people, they are able to do that because they are resources to sponsor the things they want to do. And as we go, we're going to have skills to do whatever it is we do. Anything at all you want to do for people, or you know how to do for people, or you like to do for people. Until you come to that point where you are able to sell it, you may not make anything serious or substantial from it. And until your resource is substantial, your reach is limited. And when your reach is limited, it will not matter what the quality of what you have to offer is. Your exposure, your visibility will also be very limited. And when that is limited, those who don't have as much quality as you have, as much wisdom, as much sense as you have, will be the one having influence on those people. Well, why today might not be particularly on influence. Maybe we can take time to talk about influence some other time. But we sure do know that influence is a very powerful thing, right? In case you are trying to figure out what influence is physically, right? You can look at what it would be today if Elon Musk should come up and say, I am buying Dodge. Exactly, that is influence. It's not forcing anybody to go and do what he wants to do. It's not appealing to anybody. It's not begging anybody. But the truth remains that if he should tweet it today that he's buying so volume of Dodge, the price of Dodge can still do 50% increase today. In fact, it can do 100% increase today. That is influence. And influence will not just be, it's not just by, it doesn't come by authority. And when I say authority, I mean it doesn't just come by the fact that you are an elderly person to the next person you want to influence. Influence goes into how much that other person respects you, how much that person wants to be like you. So until such position is taken, there is high limit to how much you can actually influence people. Right. So if Facebook decide today that everybody will be in darkness, you don't have to put up the electricity. They shut down Facebook today. They shut down Instagram. They shut down WhatsApp. It will be as though we are back in 1840. That is power and that is influence. So if all of those can happen by just somebody making an announcement, or taking an action in his own sitting room, and the whole world will be that much affected. There is only one thing that will come to mind, and that is the fact that this thing is not by age. It has nothing to do with how closely related you are. Now, these people didn't get to this point by just being the creative. They got to that point by being very good sellers. I'm pushing this to us because at the end, all of us we have to sell, either we like it or not. And I'll give you one of the easiest way that we're always trying to sell ourselves. When you apply for a job, your CV is your pitch, trying to sell yourself, showing that you're qualified for that job, showing that, in fact, it's not just showing that you are qualified, it's you trying to tell them that you are the best man for the job. Okay, you are looking for a girl. Just wanted to show you another way we sell stuff. You're looking for a girl, or you see a girl that you like. The way you present yourself begins to make a whole lot of different sense. And what do I mean? If you meet a girl, for instance, there are certain things naturally you want to do with your friend, but because of an impression you want to make, if your friends are there at that point in time, you call some of those things. And the other way is also that you do a direct approach, and you give compliment that oh the normal day you wouldn't have given, even the one you have not given your sister before. All of those things come subtly, but really they are always our pitches. They are ways of we selling ourselves. So what do we sell? We sell skills, we sell products. Or let me say we sell services, then we sell products. And that basically what we do, what everybody is doing. We have seen great inventions today, but there are actually many more inventions that they don't make it to limelight because they couldn't find the right sellers. And I'll give an instance. Every one of us should remember BlackBerry. BlackBerry came and it was selling it. In fact, it was in a class of its own. For the first time, you can chat somebody and you are not sending SMS. You can chat somebody. In fact, that time we call it ping. You can ping somebody. You can send encrypted messages. Your your phone start having many keyboards. What we're used to was all those about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's about 12, 15 maximum keyboards on every phone before. But with BlackBerry, they started coming with all of those plenty keyboard from ABC to Z, then your numbers, then your shift button and everything. Plenty keyboards. Then they advanced to ballpoint or what they call that thing they used to do as mouse. Encrypted messages, cameras, fingerprints, all of those things. And when Apple came, interestingly, to me, Apple didn't do anything specially different from what BlackBerry was doing, but they have a better seller. Yeah, they have what? A better seller. And that's what make all the difference. Today, BlackBerry is nowhere. Till tomorrow, iPhones are here. Apple products are here. What am I saying in essence is all the skills we are building, all the services we are having, it's very important that we begin to look towards the side of selling. We have to start selling, like selling ferociously, selling consistently, selling every time. So that's one serious way to make money. So the advantage of that is this, that even if you don't have a product that you are making, you're not creating anything, you can fit almost anywhere as long as you can help them to sell whatever they are making. So I'm saying that to let us know that you can actually sell what is not yours. You can sell from other people, what other people are making. You don't have to make anything yourself. All you have to do is to look for other people's product and sell, look for other people's services and help them to sell. And there's no limit to how much you can sell. And that's like the easiest way to actually go, to just speak for people where they cannot speak for themselves. Let me give an instance. You know these people that play football. You know they have uh is it manager they call them now? Please, whoever knows the name should please help me. There's a name they call these people that manage each player.
They have managers. Yeah, they have managers.
Each manager, I'm not talking about the coaches that coach the whole team now. I'm talking about individual like
They, they literally have all their own managers. That
oh,
use how they from one club to another and how they are used.
okay, very good. That's the one I'm looking for. When you see those people, most of the time you don't even hear their name. Most of the times you don't even know them. But if you know how much they make on each player, they successfully move from one club to another. Many times they make money throughout the stay of that player in that club. Every new deal that player is signing, there is a percentage that goes to them. And that's selling. They are not the one playing. They are not the one training the player. In fact, they are not the one telling the player how to play. They are not the one telling the player how early he should get to the club. All they do is to pitch the player to whoever is interested. So when you see affiliate commission people that will do, say, YouTube video, for instance, and then they tell you, with my link below, you get 50% discount, whatever. They are not basically interested in the 50% discount you are getting. They are mostly interested in the percentage that comes to them because of the fact that you buy. So sell, sell, sell. It cannot be overemphasized. You just have to keep selling. Sell, 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 sell. So there's a real estate stuff that I did recently with some of my people that bought a property. Eventually, how many days ago? 3 days ago, I got a commission, right? And I was surprised because they say I'm not one of their consultants, that they only give discount to their consultants. And I said, first of all, I've been patronizing you people for since 2020, and now I bring people to come and buy stuff from here. I think I should get a commission. And they were like, there's no commission, I'm not part of their consultants, blah blah blah. We dragged it. In fact, at a point I was almost giving up on it. But the thing is, if I pointed those people in a different direction, what they bought would have been from a different business. And eventually, the long story short, they pay me 100K, right? And that's something soft on the side. So now I'm beginning to think maybe I should look for more real estate businesses and join them and let them know that I can help them sell, right? So I'm saying to let us know that in a case where you don't have something to produce, there will always be something to sell. And that's like the easiest way to actually go. Glitters does painting and construction. So when I bring people to him for him to paint their house and renovate their house, and we ask him for commission. Those people we pay is I'm not concerned about how much he's charging those people. I'm not concerned about uh, how much those people are willing to pay. What I'm concerned is my ability to close those people and make sure that they come and make use of glitter services. So once they do, they pay him. The obligation is now on him to give me something light, right? And that's the way it goes. In cases where you don't have something to produce, because many times we will not have something to produce, but surely there will always be something to sell. Always there will be something to sell. I'm saying this that in all of the things that we're going to be going through, in cases where we're looking for money to do one or two things, to build whatever we want to build, to go to places we want to go, one of the easiest way to do it will actually be to sell. So that brings me to a little digression that I'm going to do here. Remember the other time we are talking about values. I remember saying in that statement that value as it is in today's world can be as simple as you making a comment on somebody's post. Value today can be as simple as you posting somebody's product on your status. It can be as simple as you uploading somebody's details, somebody's information, somebody's product on your timeline. So, and the digression here is me telling us to try as much as possible to be intentional about our social media handles. Just build it intentionally for even when you don't know what you want to use it to do presently. Gather more followers, gather more people, connect more people. Just make sure that account is in a good state. Because I believe we are moving towards that point where everybody's reason for living is to make sure the other person lives well. And the only way to do that would be by reaching out to them through the only means you have, and that is social media. I was telling some set of people the other day that we're approaching a time where physical contacts become very expensive. That is for you to see me face to face, for you to be able to have a conversation with me. It's going to be a really serious matter because we're in the world of video conferencing, we're in the era of teleportation where I can be in the UK and appear in your sitting room and we do what we have to do. But even that, it still has its own limitation because even with that, you cannot touch me. Because you can see me in front of you, you can talk to me in front of you, but you can't give me a hug. So there's so much going on around that area. And the social media of today, they are really going to a point where they are becoming assets of tomorrow. And on the last time, I was telling somebody, we're coming to a point where our social media will become inheritance for our children, right? That's okay. My Twitter account is for my firstborn. My Instagram account is for my second child. And for you, the third one or the last child, yeah, take this Facebook account. At that point, it will not be something useless like it was some years back, because those accounts are not useless today. When imagine you having an Instagram account where you have over 1 million followers and you give that to somebody today. Oh boy, that's a whole lot. And whoever you give it to will make some cool money. I mean, cool money that they will not have to beg anybody again in their life. So, value is the more we do things these days, the more value become intangible. And the more intangible it becomes, the more intangible the mode of exchange also becomes. So I can do a data analysis for somebody from the comfort of my home without ever seeing the person, without ever knowing the person. And I'll send to the person without seeing the person, without using a dispatch rider, without using haulage or logistic companies. Just through their email, just through their WhatsApp, just through their LinkedIn page. Even PO box is going extinct. But in the first place, if I cannot reach out to that person, convince that person that I'm able to deliver that value that person is looking for. I mean, if I'm unable to sell myself, my skill to that person, then I won't have the opportunity to offer them that value. And in exchange for that value, I won't be able to get anything. So it means that I can know visualization more than Tableau and still be very poor. I can know visualization more than Power BI. I can know business intelligence more than Power BI and still be very poor because I'm unable to sell myself, unable to sell my skill, unable to sell my value to people that need it. So you're not just a good graphics designer or a good UI UX developer. You must also be able to tell people you do it effortlessly in such a way that they cannot find a better person than you because nobody can do it the way you do it. And when you come to that point, there is almost no limit to how much you can achieve, how much money you can bring in to yourself, how much profit you can make. Trading of any form is still buying and selling. Okay? So when you sell, there are also levels and categories. There are things you find everywhere that you can buy, everywhere that you can buy from everyone. For instance, you do graphics design. Almost any guy on the street can design for anybody. But there is a reason you will charge something better, bigger for the same work those people will do. And people will still prefer to come do it with you than do it with those guys. The same plantain you will buy on the street and you will price it again and again. You don't go to ShopRite and price it. Oh. even when their price is way higher than what you see on the street. The same apple the malam guy will tell you is 500 naira and you will say take 250. It's the same apple you will see in ShopRite, Just Right, Spar, or any of those malls for 1,000 naira, maybe 2,000 naira, and you don't ask them, can they take 1.5? There is a reason that is beyond the value they are looking for. There is an experience. What I'm saying in essence is for you to sell your skill, your product higher, you must add to it an experience. I was telling somebody, was it yesterday or who was I talking to about the MacBook, for instance? If you press the keyboard, there is a feel, there is something you feel, there is an experience, like it's entirely different. So even sometimes when you discover that Apple product cannot do what you really want to do with Android and Windows, but every time you use those Apple products, there is an experience that comes with it. So when you create a logo for somebody, it's not just enough that the logo is fine. It's not just enough that the logo is communicating what they want it to communicate. They themselves must feel something. They must have an experience with what you have created. And that's the reason they want to go, but they could not go. The reason they want to use somebody else, they won't be able to use it. All of that comes in your sales. It's the only way you tell people that you are the best product in the market without telling them that they cannot get it better elsewhere. When you get to that point where you know how to tell people that you're the best option available, that they cannot get the best something like that elsewhere without telling it to them directly, and yet they get the message, at that point there's no limit to how much profit you can make, to how much money you can make, to how much your net worth can grow. And you can put it on your Google and check who are the people making the highest money today in today's world. They are marketers. Forget the title of the CEO, forget the title of the founder, forget the title of the managing director, forget whatever title they give them. In their own space, they might carry some level of high authority. They may carry all kind of ranks and everything. But if you really want to know people making the biggest money, they are the sale people. Because for instance, if I sell a plot of land and they say they are giving me 10%, 15%, that is a product that I do not have any stake inside. That is, I don't bother myself with the person get the land or not. If the land is on government property or not. If the people that have the land, if they have it available or not, if they have problem with Omonile or not, if the business is going to capsize or not tomorrow. But one thing I know is this business is here today and they have so to sell. Having done my own due diligence that okay, these people have this and it's legitimate, I pitch it to other people and they come to sell. Now, if Omonile should have problem The owner of that business will be the one to have to face them. If they have problem with government, be it is a C of O problem, uh, occupancy problem, the land has been designed by government to use for something else problem, whatever it is left to that company to sort it out. Now, I'm letting you to see the role of marketers or sellers compared to those who own or innovate or create. If you create, let's say you create, okay, Glitters is a developer. Let's say you create a fintech app that is working, right? From the time you conceive the idea to the time you put the codes together to the time that you sort out funding for the app, for the fintech app, to the time you get to the market where the thing started working. All of those things will be your own consideration. Those are the things you put into place before you consider what your profit is. How much your investors are willing to take from you and all the stuff like that. All the legal documents you have to put in place, the lawyers, the people working with you on the same project, everybody you have to put into consideration before you account for your own profit, right? But if I'm coming to you as a marketer who want to help give visibility to your product, to tell people this fintech app is good, to make you send money from Nigeria to the UK seamlessly, no hidden charges, this and that. The only thing I'm considering is how many people am I bringing to you. Sincerely, that is serious work. But then, my own commission is per person that come in, right? So by the time 2,000 people come in, I have a percentage that is coming to me. Now, at this point, if when your user base is increasing, the expansion work still lies on you, not on the marketer. So when you look around everywhere, marketers always, most of the time, on the higher profit margin side. So if this person is not producing something, if it's not doing one business or the other, there is one other person down the corner doing a business, making a product, doing one thing or the other that you can sell. So having said that, I'm saying we should learn to sell. We should up our selling game. So for those of us who want to read, I would recommend a book, Building a Story Brand. I've been reading the book, I've been impressed, I'm getting better. So what is the book saying is how to actually sell properly. I will give you one information from the book that is very simple and easy. And that's the fact that you communicate your message in such a way that you don't stress people before they understand your message. That is, make it simple enough. And it's telling us it's the same skill that movie makers use. Because that's the reason within the first 5 to 7 minutes of a movie, you can determine if you want to continue to watch it or not. Within the first 5 to 10 seconds of a music, you determine if you want to continue to listen. So, building a brand story It's a book I recommend. Go and read it, and it will help you in selling whatever you want to sell. Now, let's go to what we sell. And before I talk about what to sell, let's talk about the second part where you make money. That's where you are producing. If you're producing something, you are making something, you're rendering a service, there is need for you to come to that point where it is not about you, it is about your customer. That is, your customer will now be the hero of your story. And what you are simply doing is being the guide or the help for them. So, like Vushi will say, a first time entrepreneur will focus on the product. But the truth remains that your customers are not buying for the same reasons you are producing. You make beautiful designs. You, or let me say, you make beautiful paintings. As someone who paint houses, make all kind of paintings and wallpapers and the likes. But people that are coming to you, they are not coming to you because you simply make beautiful wallpaper, because you make beautiful paintings. The people that want to buy from you, they are coming to buy because they want to have a beautiful environment. They want to have a feel of a beautiful environment. And that goes beyond you just making a beautiful painting, because when it comes to them, you discover that they have a way they want their things to look. There's an experience they want to have. So when you are making beautiful paintings, they are looking for beautiful experience. And like that book said, we prefer solution to external problems, but our customers, they are looking for solutions to internal problems. So the girl that is using makeup, it's not just doing it because she thinks she's not fine enough, because she wants to look finer. She's doing it because of her inferiority complex. So with that makeup now, it is meeting with something on her inside that is telling her now that she's what? Beautiful. Have you seen girls that are very beautiful and they do makeup and you're like, why on earth will you even go and do makeup in the first place? Because the makeup is now messing up the beauty that we used to know. But the problem is not with the beauty. The problem is with something on her inside that is telling her she's not enough already. So while you are thinking, while the makeup artist is thinking, oh, I can make you look beautiful, I can make you this, the girl is not going to the makeup artist because the makeup artist uh, is good with painting. The girl is going to the makeup artist because she believes that when she goes there and she's painted, inferiority complex on the inside that is telling her she's not enough will be made up for by the time she's painted. And that's why you see them after their makeup, they begin to do some kind of pose, and because that's where they think their strength is. Have you seen girls who cannot snap any serious picture without showing their bum bum? Yeah, that's where their strength is. That's where they think this is why I'm accepted. Right? Have you seen girls who are so beautiful that they don't have sense? Yes, because they believe that their beauty makes up for everything. So when you rubbish that beauty to them, you will touch something on the inside. So that's why you may be pushing a girl to become great. Learn this skill, it will help you. You can make much money, you can do this and that. You can preach that from now till eternity. And one guy that is telling her that she's beautiful as she is the one she's giving attention. It's not because what you are saying to her is not what she needs. It's not because what you are saying to her is wrong. It is because something on the inside that she needs approval for is being met by another person. So she believes by being beautiful, she's complete, even when she has no value to offer, so to speak. Every guy that tells her she's beautiful makes more sense to her. And that's why you see that most people do something and you're like, this would have been the best option for you. Why are you doing this one you are doing? Simply because it's meeting something on their inside that the other thing is not meeting. And in a way, it's saying that the reason you are telling somebody something is not also the reason they are listening to you. So I may be telling you to go do marketing now because I think I know how you can make money. But you are not listening to me because I can speak better because all the knowledge is with me. But you are listening because truly you want to make money. Using that for instance. So people who go ahead to buy iPhone for instance, it's not necessarily because they have performance issue with the Androids, but by the fact that you are holding an iPhone, it gives you a kind of status. So most people who buy Mercedes, it's not because Toyota cannot do what they need to do, but Toyota don't give the status that Mercedes give. So somebody can tell you, I want a car that is reliable, that is trustworthy, that is this and that. That's what I want to buy. And they are saving heaven and earth to buy Mercedes. And you're like, why are you doing this when you could have just bought your Toyota? The truth remains that they are not just looking for effectiveness and productivity as it may appear. They're also looking for something that is missing on the inside, which is their status, which is their acceptance, acceptability. So when you make painting for people, bear at the mind of bear at the back of your mind that they are not just coming to you because you are the best painter in the world. They are not just coming to you because you paint effortlessly. They're not coming to you because your painting is always clean. They are coming to you because anytime they enter the house, they want to have an experience. They want to feel comfortable. They want to feel in an environment where everything is as they would like it to be. And you can look at that. That is the same reason you will recommend a color of painting for somebody and they will say, no, this is the color I want. So people's choices are always internal. So for somebody coming to you to do data analysis for them, for instance, the problem will not necessarily because they could not get the business intelligence by themselves. But the problem might just be that they don't have time to sit down and do it. So that drive me to say that you are only paid for what people want, but they could not get done by themselves. So the people that are paying marketers are not paying the marketers because the marketers does not have a job. They are paying the marketers because they need their product sold, but they could not do it themselves. So people will come to you and will pay a fortune to get done what they need to get done, but are unable to get done by their own power or by their own efforts on their own. So the reason people come to you for whatever it is you do, number one and most important of all, remember that their problem is internal. Then secondly, know that for most of them, it's either they are trying to save time, it's either they are trying to compensate for their time that's already wasted, effort that's already wasted, or they are trying to make an impression, they are trying to achieve a particular status, they are trying to get to a particular point in life that they are beginning to discover that they may not be able to do on their own. So when you render your services and you push out your products, make sure your customers are always the hero. Paint them to be the hero. So when you want to sell a gun to somebody, you don't sell you don't just say how powerful the gun is and say, it can shoot from here to the sky. You shoot here, you can kill angel from here, you can this and that. No. But if you can paint a scenario for them that the execution you want to do in the US, you don't necessarily have to leave Nigeria before you do it. Now, that's a guide to help them do what they want to do faster. Let them imagine what it will look like. Somebody who wants to paint a house and is saying, I want this paint, I want this to look like this, like that, like this. And you get into the house and you check it and you look at it. And then you say, what if it can look like this? And then you have the opportunity of doing this. At that point, they are not seeing you as somebody who wants to show off your skill. They are seeing you as somebody who wants to help them achieve their dream and even achieve it better and faster. And that's why they will pay huge amount of money. They will pay so much to make sure they get it done. So, the things that you can produce depends on you, depends on where your skill lies. There are people producing mobile apps today. A lot of them, some still producing some kind of social media, some still producing some kind of fintech apps, some still producing all sorts of things. And there are some people producing home appliances, there are people producing security, and all sorts of things. So, but the things that you produce that will continue to help you out to make money will go in about three or four different categories, but one of the most important of them all is security. Everybody likes safety. So most people that are buying lands, even when they don't know what they are doing, the reason they are buying is to say, with this, my money is safe. I can always come back to it in the future. So it looks like a safe asset. So people that are renting their apartment in some estates, even when that's all they are doing it because of security, because this estate is safe. Even before they think of the connection the estate can possibly bring them, they think of the safety. Here, everybody is safe. So the other category is self-enhancement products. Help people meet their inner needs. So, and that's why you see people that are doing the women products are selling big time, selling ladies' wears, their makeup products, their um, body management products, all of those things. A woman who is sitting at a bar 2 a.m. will still rather buy slim tea than go to the gym, than stop eating about 2 a.m. Right? So those things goes a long way to tell us the reason people buy the things they buy. For some people, it just gives them a sense of accomplishment. So that when people say, what have you done? They can say, oh, I've done this, I've done that, even when that's not what is needed. So what I'm simply saying is people don't necessarily buy what they need. In quotes, they actually buy what they want. Because most of the time, what we think we want is what we think we need. And I'm saying that in the sense to let us know that when you set out to sell something to people, or you set out to produce something that you want to sell to people, to help people, bear in mind that the reason you are creating the product you are creating is not the reason the people that are buying it want to buy it. You are doing graphic design because you like to design and because you want to make money. Let me just put those two together. Because you so much like to make colors, to make things fine. That's the reason you are into graphic design. Just want to make something beautiful. And on the side, you want to make money. But the person that is coming to ask you to do logo does not care how much you like colors. Yeah, the person does not care. In fact, they don't care how much money you want to make, but they care that their brand has a name that people can identify with. So, if when they are telling you this is their business name, their business whatever, and they want also logo or also design, and you don't put into consideration the things they are telling you, and you go ahead and create because you think, oh, I know the color that best match this and that. Or here will be your case, because eventually you are going to go back and go and do what they ask you to do. So for somebody who is a boxer, for instance, may just be fighting because he's been fighting since very small, and somebody encourage him, just go and do it, and it will be you following your passion, and somebody is even paying you for it. But you and I know that we are not watching it to see who enjoys the boxing the most. We are watching it to see how to how the punch can land. We want to see how somebody bleeds, what the punch is looks like when he hits somebody. Some of us will go to the movies to watch movie, not because we care which movie is showing, right? But because there is somebody who want to give an impression, that's why we carry the person to the movie to go and see together. And all of you can testify how many movies you have watched that you cannot even remember the title. Yet they are the director and the producer of those movies. They can tell you how much effort they put into place, how beautiful the movie should be, how well they will recommend it for people. But most of us just watch it. Let me just pass time. You watch it for entertainment. So we stay with movies that give us entertainment than movies that pass a particular message across. Because the reason we're watching the movie in the first place is not even the message they pass across, it's the entertainment. So that's why if you go to a girl, for instance, hey, what's up? I like you. Let's get married. The girl will look at you as unserious. In fact, that might be the last time you get the opportunity to speak to that girl. Compared to when you go to the girl, you first paint her for her. Ah, why are you this beautiful? How do you breathe? Only you find like 10 people. How do you manage? By the way, my name is David. What's your name? But from there, you people can speak for days, for years, for months, eventually end up dating and getting married. But following that first approach, you might just receive blocking straight up. I'm still saying that to emphasize the fact that people don't buy for the same reason that we produce. So people don't have interest in the things we do for the reason that we do it, but for the reason of the need it meets in their own life. And if you want to know how true this is, just look at a girl's life. I don't know why I have to use them for example this morning, but they look like a very typical example of this thing. Have you seen them wear shoes that want to break their ankle? And you're like, life is not this difficult. You could have put on a loafer, you could have put on a sneaker, you could have put on something way simpler. But she believes she's more beautiful in those heels. That's why she will buy it. So, when you try to sell, when you produce whatever you produce, bear in mind that your clients, your customers must be the hero of the story. And you're just there as a guide. You're just there as a guide. Because when you try to be the hero, you lose the market. They're not going to patronize you. It is very wrong to tell you how well I can drill ball. For you, if I cannot tell you how much you are going to enjoy the water I can bring out for you. So if I begin to tell you, do your survey, we tell you we know the depth you're supposed to drill, we know when to install the casing, we know how many We know how many horsepower pump we are supposed to install for you. We know how many hours the pumping machine can work. We know for how long, how deep the bore can go. We know the diameter. We know the machine we're bringing. We know how many hours it's going to take us to drill it. Blah, 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 blah. And I can discuss that for as many hours as possible. If I fail to tell you how that your children will not have to go 2 miles to go fetch water, if I fail to tell you how easy it will be for you to just open your tap in your kitchen and water begins to run, how with a push of a button your pumping machine picks up and water is everywhere in the house, how that you can come back from work any time of the day and you meet water. If I fail to tell you that you can wake up 2 a.m. and feel like having your bath and you don't have to go out and go to fetch water, if I fail to tell you how much value, appreciation that borrow will add to your house or your property, I can guarantee you I most likely will lose that customer. Why? Is because I've painted myself to be the hero. But in a case where I'm showing the person what the person stands to gain just by having a ball in his house, I've made that person the hero. And I'm just like the guide, helping them to achieve that thing they actually want to achieve faster and easier. Then we'll be good together. We have a business to do. And that's the way it works. So we are going to come across this in the things we're going to be doing in the future time. Just saying this to let us know that the easiest and the simple two ways to actually get out of insufficient resources is to either produce or sell. And the easiest way is to sell. And now, if you want to cap it all, produce and sell. You know why everybody may not like Elon Musk? But the guy is forever making money. It's because he's producing and selling at the same time. You know why everybody will complain that Dangote is playing on Nigerian politics? But we have no choice but to make the guy richer again and again. It's because the guy is producing and is selling. Do you know why many people will not be heard of even if they live 100 years? And they remain poor is because they have nothing to sell, they have nothing to produce. Even in our local village, people still produce food. People produce, they have farm produce. So, and for every season, different category of farmer, they have their shine. People who produce corn, they have their time to shine. And at that point, they are like the richest people in the community. They have their corn is coming out, they are selling, and everybody is asking for them. People are coming from different cities, different towns to come and look for them to come to their farm to come and harvest. And when it is time for yam, people are coming from different countries, different states, different cities, bringing their trucks to come and buy yam. And when those seasons are gone, you know people that are still railing, people that are still trending, those are the people selling the yam. Because at that point, they bought it from the producers. They are now the ones selling. And that's why during the yam season, the same tuber of yam that you see for The same tuber of yam that you see for 2,000 naira, you will find it in market for 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. And you have no choice. If you must eat yam, you just have to buy it. That's exactly what's happening. So, if there's any skill I want to encourage us to learn, learn marketing, learn how to sell. And if you want to be invisible, add to it production. With those two, I can tell you that you'll be unstoppable. So, what you sell can be services. What you produce can be services. But in all of this, make sure you are not lacking in your selling game. Make sure you are not lacking in your selling game. There's so much I still want to talk about, but I think the time is it's actually good. Wow, this is 9:25. So I'll just leave us to that. Sell, produce, and where you have the opportunity, do the two together. There will be no limit to how much you can do, how much you can become. And as I wrap up, I'm tempted to talk about the business of every profession. I'm saying this because I know some of us eventually we have to work as a career person. Some of us we have to work as a professional in certain fields, right? Another time we may find time to actually talk about the business of your craft, right? Another time, but I want us to be at the back of our mind that for every profession, for every skill, there is a business aspect of it. There is a business side to it. So it's not enough for you to be a doctor, for instance. You can own your own hospital. In fact, just look at what Aproko doctor is doing. I don't know if the guy has a hospital of his own, or at least you can see what he's doing. And the money is making from time to time. I'm doubting how many doctors in Nigeria will be able to brag of making that kind of money. If you have one or two that will be bragging about making that amount of money, they must be doing their own business on the side, either in that particular field or in another field, right? So that's just what it is. You know how many endorsements that guy has received since he started um, his videos that he's doing and stuff like that. So what I'm saying in essence is learn to sell, learn to sell, learn to sell. Hmm? I think that's all I'll be saying this morning to encourage us to go and do what we have to do. Sell, 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 sell. So if you have missed any major part of this, ah, not sure I record today, but if I do, I will upload. But if not,